Hello my beautiful friends, what is up? How are you? Welcome back to another video. If you've been here before, it's so good to see you again. If you haven't been here before, hey, what's up? My name's Steph. Thanks so much for stopping by and hanging out with us today. I'm so happy to see you. So today we're going to be chatting about 7 things that I wish I knew about manifestation before I started to actively try to manifest things into my life. And I think that we all are really trying lately to create the life that we want to live our best lives, be our best selves. And so I'm going to share with you the 7 things that I learned so that maybe your journey is a little bit easier than mine. So let's jump right on into it. Number 1 is going to be accountability. So one of the main things I've learned about manifestation is understanding that everything in your reality is a result of you and the way that you're thinking, the way that you're feeling, and the way that you're presenting in the world. Because really, your outer reality is just a reflection of your inner reality. And anything that you believe to be true is true for you, and that is reflecting into your reality. And I think it's so hard for us to really be accountable in those moments where our life isn't exactly what we want it to be. But truly, I look at it through the perspective of, at least if this is how it is right now, I know that I have the power to change it. And I kind of empower myself versus feeling so overwhelmed and like everything is so daunting and crazy. At least I know that if I created this version that I don't really love, I can create a version that I love and encompasses everything that I want out of my life. So number 2 is definitely going to be accepting the now. So I think that a lot of us, when we try to manifest things we want into our lives, we're trying to ignore the now. We're trying to pretend it isn't here and it's not real because we don't want to accept that our life is like this and we just want change and we just want that job or we just want that money or we just want that person. And we don't really want to accept the beauty and like just existing right now in this moment. And I think that it's easy for us to just try to ignore it and push it down and act like it's not there. But actually, if you accept your now for what it is, it doesn't have any power over you when you're creating your new life, because it just is what it is. This life, this current reality doesn't have to mean anything to you. It doesn't have to hold any weight to you. It doesn't have to be this negative experience for you. It can just be. And you can just accept like, yeah, this is where I'm at right now, but like, this is what I want and this is what I will have. So right now doesn't even matter because this is what I'm choosing to pay attention to. This is what I'm choosing to give my focus to. And in turn, my whole life is going to change and it's going to be just fine. With that, leading into number 3 would be accepting that your emotions are stepping stones to your shadow work. So if you have resistance or if you're feeling negative towards the things that you desire, there's a root cause of that. So using your emotions to get to that problem, to get to that root thing and be like, hey, it's not really this that I don't like, or it's not like this that I don't feel like I can have. I don't feel like I can have this as a result of this that's buried way deep down, and if I can get to the root of that and I can release that, then in turn all of these things that are tied to this one issue are going to come to the surface and be released and be transmuted, and it's going to be so much easier for me to really come to terms with the resistance I have and therefore release it for my highest good. I hope that you guys are keeping up, but if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd be happy to answer them for you. Leading into number 4 would be every reality exists now. So there's been a lot of research in the realm of quantum physics and all that stuff in which your brain can't decipher between what's real and what's fake. So in all actuality, every single reality that you could ever think of can exist right now because your brain can't decide if that's real or fake when you think about it. And so that's why things like be as if and act as if are so powerful, because your brain literally cannot tell the difference versus like if it is real life right now or if it is just reality that you're creating. And so in that vein of knowledge, every reality exists right now. There's a reality of you that is living everything that you ever wanted, and there's a reality of you that's like on the opposite spectrum and is struggling, and everything exists right now, and it just chooses to give you the question of like, who are you going to become and who are you going to give your energy to, and what kind of path are you going to go down to get you to be encompassing that version of yourself that has everything you want. You know what I mean? And kind of in tandem with that, is resistance to anything is just your own belief systems about what you can have about that thing. So say you want to fall in love, but you're like, I don't attract any good people, my relationships are shit, like I don't have good relationships, I've never met nice people, I've never had good healthy relationships, I just don't deserve it, I've never experienced that, so I obviously don't deserve it if I've never had that. That's just a story that you're telling yourself, and it's reiterating the reality of like you just attract people that aren't aligned to your highest good and aren't treating you the way you deserve to be treated, because you have this inherent belief that because you've been treated like crap in the past that you just deserve to continue to be treated like that, or that's the best you can get, when in reality it's not like that at all. You deserve the best. You deserve love. You are worthy and deserving of love and respect from every single person on this planet. It doesn't matter if you've put them in a romantic sense or a business sense or a personal sense or a friendship sense. It does not matter. You are worthy and deserving of love and respect exactly as you are, and there's no reason why you get to tell yourself a story that says otherwise. And so in the vein of like trying to manifest love, your resistance is literally just your beliefs about how you think you deserve to be treated and how you feel like you're worthy of being treated. Everything comes back to you and how you feel about yourself and how you feel about the circumstance. And truly, it's so empowering, but being accountable to that and saying, hey, that's not true. I'm not going to think like that about myself anymore because I deserve the best. That's a tricky situation. That's hard to come to terms with. And I understand that we all kind of struggle with those insecurities about like, well, I experienced this and in turn it makes me feel like this about myself. Just trust that you are a divine being and you deserve all of the love and happiness in the world just because you are, and you don't need to earn anything. You are worthy and deserving of love just because you're here and you exist. You know what I mean? And I hope that that kind of soothes you, especially in the terms of relationships, because I know that we all kind of struggle with our past and we have things we've gone through that have made us feel anything other than worthy. And I'm here to tell you that not only are you so worthy of love, but it is your birthright. And it is what you are at a base level. You are the frequency of love. You are the universe. You are a divine being living a temporary human experience, and you deserve all of the good that you could ever think of. And it is out there for you. You just have to allow it and believe that you deserve it. Number 6 is going to be your attention is what makes things real. And this is kind of going in the vein of like the law of assumption and all that stuff, which I will be making a video on later. But what you give your focus to grows. What you give your attention to grows. So if you're focused on all the things you hate about your life, you're welcoming more things to be reflected back into your life that you don't necessarily love. If you're focusing on all the things in your life that are going well for you, the universe is like, oh, okay, like we're focusing on good stuff, let's reflect good stuff, let's emote good stuff, let's receive good stuff, and just allow that to come to you. Allow yourself to focus on what feels good to you. You aren't here to feel negative and to let yourself suffer in those negative emotions. You can choose to focus on what makes you feel good, even if it's just the weather or the color of the leaves or the coffee you drink in the moment. Finding any reason to feel good about your life is going to transform your life. And I find it so funny in a way that like this world has trained us to look at everything so cynically, when the way we create our world is by focusing on things. So we're creating more of a world that's cynical and pessimistic and full of negativity and anger and sadness, when really we could just focus on things that we love about our life at an individual level, and in turn the collective would start to raise the vibration and things would change. But we all have to get there at an individual level first. It's just so crazy to think about that we have that kind of power, but we truly do. I don't know. I don't want you to like have your head in the clouds with rose-colored glasses. But I do want to remind you that there are good things in every single moment, and there's no reason why you can't allow yourself to focus on those things too, because we don't just need to think about how hard things are. We can allow ourselves to be happy. We can give ourselves permission to focus on the things that are good and feel good and bring good into the world. It doesn't need to be scary and heavy and negative all the time. We are allowed to be happy, and we can give ourselves permission to be happy. It all starts with you giving yourself permission to be happy. And that's going to bring us into point number 7, which is kind of tying it all together in a sense of like, you have so much power, and right now in this moment is the only thing that's important to you. Number 7 is there is no past and there is no future. And if you're reminiscing on your past, per se, you're bringing more of those experiences into your present. And if you're stressed about the future, you're bringing more of those situations and circumstances and life paths into this current moment. Because when you get to the future, it's going to be right now. And when you were in the past, it was right now. And the past doesn't exist anymore. You're just repeating the story to yourself and letting yourself think that that is what it is, that every moment is a new moment. And there is no past. It just is what it is. It's right now. And that's why focusing on what makes you feel good and what makes you happy and what brings you joy is so important, because your right now is creating the next right now. In summary, what I will say is that we all have incredible opportunities to create the life we want. And we all have things going on in our lives that make things feel heavy and scary and overwhelming. But what I've learned the most on my spiritual journey about manifestation itself is there's no other power like the power you have inside of you. And everything that you could ever need, you already have inside of you, because you are everything. You are the universe living a human experience. You are the universe experiencing a human. And the universe is everlasting. It is divine. It is all things encompassed into one. And you are so worthy of anything you could ever want, because you are the universe incarnate. And there's nothing you cannot do, be, have, or experience, because the universe is everything. So I hope that that resonated with you guys. I hope that I brought you some clarity and some joy. Take care of yourself. If you would like to subscribe and join our ever-growing little family, I would love to have you here. Thank you so much if you've already subscribed. If this was my first and last time seeing you, thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that I brought you some clarity. And if you ever want to come back and join us again for another video, I post every Friday. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next week.